When it comes to hair growth, the conversation always circles back to this. Is it your genetics or your routine? And the truth of the matter is, it's both your genetics and your routine. And your genetics is the one thing that determines which type of routine and pattern you cling to, but not in the way that you think. So let's break this down realistically, scientifically, and specifically for relaxed, natural, and all people who have hair growing out of their scalps. Genetics are not the whole story, but it is the blueprint. And what I mean by that is this: your genes set your baseline. Your natural hair type, whether it's curly, straight, or wavy. That 4B4CW stuff don't matter and it don't make sense. Your growth rate, how fast your hair is growing every month. Number 3 is your density and how many active hair follicles you have. And number 4, your hair growth cycle. How long does your hair grow before it actually begins to shed? But, and this is a big but, your genetics, contrary to popular opinion, do not make the final call. Thanks to epigenetics, your lifestyle, the way that you eat, your diet, and many other things influence your genes expression. This is things like your diet, stress levels, scalp health, and your styling practices, which most women who fall into a certain category, we're not going to talk about them today, the styling practices have a whole lot to do with the rate in which you are growing hair. Healthy hair especially, because contrary to popular opinion, long hair does not equal healthy hair. All of these different things that I named, your diet, scalp health, and your styling practices, these things can either activate or suppress the way that these gene traits show up within your body. For example, you may have the gene for really thick and long hair, but if your diet and your lifestyle and your practices are wrong and off track, those traits will not show up. It'll be the actual opposite. If your scalp is inflamed, you have so many different follicle and hair shaft disorders because you use oils and butters and greases on the scalp all the time, or your diet lacks certain nutrients that don't allow your gut to produce biotin to produce healthy hair, skin, and nails through the anagen phase, you get me. On the flip side, if you nourish your body like it's supposed to be nourished, or even a little bit more, you'll help your hair reach its full potential, or you can even break through a geno if you don't necessarily come from a line of women with really thick hair. There are so many clients and customers that I have that have a whole family full of women that we would consider bald head, and when they change their expressions, when they change their patterns, their lifestyle, and all of the things, then they are able to make these changes. So your natural hair, or your curly hair type, or maybe even it being relaxed, it's not a limitation. Your curly hair is not a limitation, it's a clue. Inspector Gadget. A lot of people, the majority of people, think curlier hair textures grow slower and break way faster, and it's not true. Your patterns are just off. Curly hair has a twisted strand that makes it harder for the sebum to make it down the hair shaft on its own. These are the things that people tell you, but what you are missing, the part that some people are missing, especially people who don't really understand the composition of the human body, right? When we're talking about sebum is not an oil like the oil that y'all be putting on your hair and everything else. It's a wax. And you tell me if you've ever seen a wax travel down a fiber at a strong and powerful rate, unless it was melted down to a very thin oil-like consistency, right? This is something that has to be combed down the hair shaft, and most of the time, if you have extremely curly hair and your skin is my color, then, or you're a black person, most of you are under the impression that if you comb or brush your hair is going to break off, and that is not true. Your fear of combs and brushes is what induces dryness in your hair. On the screen, I'm going to put a couple of people that were, a couple of women, a couple couple of the gurus inside of the 7-day challenge, and I may even add a video clip here or audio clip here so you can hear them saying that whenever they change their patterns and certain routines, they cannot believe they're producing so much sebum that instead of being able to go 2 weeks like they normally would, women are going from shampooing every 2 weeks to needing to do it sometimes twice a week. The sebum flows that real, right? So when you have patterns that throw you off balance, then those are the things that will happen. But curly hair itself is not harder, it's not automatically gonna break. But for most women with curly hair, those patterns and routines that need to be in place aren't in place because you fed into the lie that if you have curly hair, you can't straighten your hair, you can't comb it, you can't brush it, because if you do, your hair is going to break off. However, your fear of the combs and the brushes are the things that lead you to the place that you're in. So most of the time when you get a hold of women who have followed certain communities, you will see that due to their patterns and due to all of the things they deducted, they have excessive single strand knots. Their hair is excessively dry, and it is because you're not properly combing or brushing your hair. And you also believe that you straightening your hair or you blow drying your hair or stretching your hair in some way is somehow a horrible thing. What? Yeah, hey. So it's not that curly hair is weaker, it's just simply that curly hair, most of y'all, your hair is always dry because you're always layering oils and butters and greases on the hair. But if you had a certain pattern and routine that made it so your scalp was able to produce sebum and your patterns matched to the point where you're able to make sure that you're keeping up with this consistently, then you'll be good. But I digress. I'll get you a solution in a second. Let me talk. It's not that curly hair is weaker, it just requires a different maintenance strategy. And when you say different maintenance strategy, we were not talking about as extreme as everybody has went. Black women can style their hair the same way that everybody else can. In my last video, I broke down to you how roller sets and perm rod sets and flexi rod sets and all of the things were an amazing thing that you can do, right? You just have to organize these things and put them in the right routine and perspective. I digress. We're gonna keep going. Number 3 is the final stop, and the last thing that I'm going to say on this topic, and the one thing that most of you don't want to hear: curly hair can be styled like everybody else's hair. You do not have to have a limitation because your hair is curly. And if you know what you're doing and you use an actual heat protectant instead of an oil, if you actually follow the science of hair and use the right products as directed on the label and not adding and layering all of these products on your hair, you won't have heat damage. Your hair will jump right back and your hair will be healthier and healthier and healthier every time you shampoo your hair. I've had women who with testimonials or reviews or share their opinion confirming the exact thing that I said. So it's really your decision. Your hair must be properly prepped before it's styled, touched, or anything. Most Black women won't comb their hair for weeks, years, days, centuries, and then you hop straight into the shower with conditioner thinking that that's gonna do something, where in reality you are actually causing way bigger problems. And we don't set proper patterns and routines because we're expecting the products to just automatically make everything work, and that's not how it goes. Which leads me to our video sponsor today, me, Cyn Doll, Cyn Smith, as it says on Amazon. My 7-day challenge journal. Now, I want you to notice something. It doesn't say 7-day hair growth challenge journal, right? It's a 7-day challenge journal, and we're gonna break that down, right? One of the main things, I was gonna make this video anyway, but one thing that like kind of made me hurry up and prompted me to do it were the friggin' amazing reviews that I have. I have one positive review and I have one negative review, and both of them are so freaking valuable, and we're gonna talk about them both, right? So first, first what I'm going to do is follow the steps that you will follow if you were to go on Amazon, and I'm going to tell you what this ebook, I'm going to tell you the description of the ebook, right? What is meant to do with the ebook. It's not an ebook, it's a journal, a rather larger journal as well. And I'm going to read the description to you, and then we're going to read the reviews, and then we'll go into the book so you can see exactly how to use it. Designed by holistic beauty expert and herbalist Cyn Smith, this 7-day challenge supports your body from the inside out, focusing on the scalp balance, gut health, and emotional wellness. Inside, you'll discover number 1, daily hair and scalp check-ins. Number 2, protective style and wash day tracker. Number 3, high vibe affirmations for hair, skin, nails, and gut health. Number 4, a gentle food-based detox plan to support growth. Number 5 are herbal tips and natural routines. And number 6 is a lined journal or line journal pages for daily reflections plus photo prompts. Whether you're dealing with thinning, shedding, or you just want to reconnect with your beauty rituals, this journal is the perfect way to begin your growth journey. Mind, body, and crown. No expensive products, no pressure, just growth. This includes the space for photo tracking, personalized affirmations, and hair growth goals. Perfect for natural hair, transitioning hair, or anyone looking for a deeper connection to self-care. That is what this ebook is about. Why do I keep saying ebook? This is what this book is about, and that's what it says on Amazon. You can read it for yourself, right? Again, we're gonna hop into this again, but let's get to the reviews, right? So the first review that popped out to me was this one. It says, disappointed, not detailed enough about hair remedies. And we just read it, and I never told you that I was gonna give hair remedies. Why? Because as you guys know, I'm not the hair remedy girl. I am the science girl. I'm teaching patterns and routines. So initially I was going to call it the compendium to the 7-day challenge. I was gonna call it that, but I thought it would be too complicated, so I just called it journal. And the reason that I was going to use the compendium or companion is because it is a companion to the 7-day challenge, but it is not the 7-day challenge. I love you guys. I would never do that. I would never sell you something for $150 and then make it available to other people for $17. That's crazy, right? But I do understand, and I am very aware of the place that we are all in America, not just in the city but the world, Craig, and I wanted to give you guys more options, right? So no, the 7-day challenge is not in this $17 journal. It's not, but it gives you so many different tools. Listen to this review. I was so excited to get the 7-day challenge journal. This is one of my best purchases ever. I bought it June 14th and it was delivered the very next day, June 15th. The journal shows you how to grow your hair in simple but effective ways. I am very grateful to Miss Cyn Smith for putting together the 7-day challenge journal to help people who are struggling with hair growth. It is true that what you eat affects your entire body, including your hair. This journal is priceless. I highly recommend buying this journal. Thank you, Mrs. Cyn Smith, for your knowledge and for carrying many blessings. That was another review. So listen, I love you guys so freaking much. That review was amazing, and so was the first one that we read too. It's okay, but I need you guys to know I will never be a person who's like, here's the book of rituals, do all these things and your hair will grow. Use these hair growth rituals and your hair will grow. I don't do that. I teach you patterns and routines. I teach you systems that last forever. You won't need a hair product or all of these different things. Oh, you gotta have this or you gotta have that. No, it's about building patterns and routines. So let's hop into the journal. Okay, so here we go. here is our journal. Now as I'm going through, I am going to block out a couple of pages because you're not about to look up recipes and stuff. So when you first open, it looks like this, right? The very first page explains exactly how to use the journal, a couple of different promptings. There's a lot of information here. So it prompts you to add like a photo. You have a couple of these pages where you add a photo to track your progress, like how does your hair look right now, your skin, your nails, whatever, right? And then I'm not gonna this is the page where you set your intention. There are a couple of things here that I'm not going to show you, and then you have to apply all of the things that you've learned thus far and do your pre-challenge reflection notes and your mirror work, right? So it explains that in the beginning, right? So you have a couple of pages after that for you to do the things, and this is not something that you'll necessarily finish all in the first day, right? But these are the things that you want to do to start everything off. Like, where are you right now? Do real life reflection. When I tell you, everybody, that I want you to be intentional, this is what I'm talking about. Like, being intentional means like, what am I going through? My reflection notes, when it breaks it down in the journal exactly how to do that, what I mean by reflection notes, and different tools you can get. And then you're gonna do another one, right? You're going to do a whole nother follow-up step, adding photos, drawings, whatever the journal explains to you how to use this page, right? So then this is a portion about styling your hair, your shampoo days or whatnot, and here are some notes that you have to take down based on what you learn here. And then next up, this is follow-up steps, right? And more reflections and more mirror work based on those pages that were up there at the front. This is very intentional work. I am not selling you on products. I'm not selling you on herbs or anything like that. This is a guided journal for you to really look in the mirror, look at your patterns, look at your habits, look at your routines, and see what you can do to maximize your results. Because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to grow hair through using hair products, but the reality is there's a lot more deeper reflection work that has to be done, right? So after that phase of mirror work, now you are on day 2 of the 7-day challenge, right? I'm covering this. This is a whole lot of things. It says nourishing from within. So at this point, if you are already within the 7-day challenge, then this is everything and all the work you've done plus more, right? If you're in the 7-day challenge and you have this journal, please leave it in the comments and let them know the 7-day challenge is not in this journal, but is it an amazing guide through the 7-day challenge? And is it an amazing guide to really put your life and your patterns in perspective? Absolutely, right? Like, get it. It's girl, it's a thing, right? So we have nourishment from within. I'm just gonna cover this with something so y'all can't see it, but it just gives you a whole lot of different options, a lot of different things that you have to do, right? And a couple of more journal promptings. I'm just turning these pages just so you can see that we're still on day 2. So this is day 2. All of these pages, day 2, these are, different recipes and things of that nature for you to eat and all of the things. And then here is more mirror work and more reflection pages. I need you to be aware that even though this journal will teach you, it is a journal, right? It is proactive, right? This, now that we've worked through this many pages thus far, right? And we are on day 3 now. We're on day 3. and it has directions that of course we're not going to go over. And here are your reflection pages. Now we're on day 4, midway progress check-in. I'm not going to show you those things, but it's things for you to read. Then you do another photo check-in where you drop your photos and you start doing a comparison. Obviously this, I'm not expecting you to go and fill this journal all up in 1 week. Yes, it's 7 days, but it doesn't mean 7 days, just this 7 days and that's it. It's 7 days through the rest of your life, right? These are constant habits we're going to have, right? So we have more reflection notes, more mirror work. This is what we do after every week, after every day of the week. Now we're on day 5, strengthening the roots, right? And so yeah, you go ahead and read that and make the adjustments that you need to make through your diet, and you're taking more reflection notes, and you'll know exactly what to do based on what you're getting within the very beginning of the book. You're on day 6, right? You have a whole new set of things to do. There's a lot of questions and things that you have to answer for your own accountability. Here's another thing for day 7. You're tracking your progress again with the empty pages for the pictures. And now we're going through more mirror work again, you guys. It is a journal, right? So now we have reached a new portion at this point, right? We have went through all of these pages right here. At this point, we've gone through all of these pages at this point, right? Now, at this point, our patterns and routines are good, right? But I want you to go through every book, because through every book, every page, because through the 7 days, right, of every week, through the months, through the year, right? I really recommend whenever you fill this one up, girl, get you another one and just let this keep being your pattern, right? So every day you'll write it down. This is a tracker for your water intake, nutrition, and a lot of other things, right? And then here's even more. Now we've reached our affirmation portion of the challenge, and we have all of these different journal promptings, and now it's time for you to get into your affirmations. So after that, all of the remaining pages are the affirmations that you need to have throughout the day, right? You're going to pick something and it describes everything to you. It gives you a set amount of affirmations. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but girl, I fit it in as many times up here as I can throughout here. I write whatever my affirmation is as many times as I can on each page, right? And then that is the journal. That is the 7-day challenge journal, and I really hope that this made sense. I really hope that you understand more what it's used for. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your reviews. All right, so that is the inside of my 7-day challenge journal. I really hope that made sense. I really hope that if there's anybody that was confused about it, I really hope that I answered your question, and I really hope that it gave the clarity that you needed. No, the 7-day challenge is not in this book, but can it help you through your 7-day challenge? Absolutely. Can this be something that helps you gain structure so you're ready to join the 7-day challenge when you want, or is this just the masterful tool? Yes, and this one I'm saying yes. All of them I'm saying yes to. Is this just an extremely masterful tool for you to add to your repertoire? I think everyone should have this book. It really helps you to grasp everything that I'm saying. I understand that here on my channel things can be really confusing because I do give you a lot of information, and there are a whole lot of things that we're doing on a regular basis that we need to stop. There are so many different things that are no longer serving us, and excuse me, I understand that it's really hard for you to put all of these things in perspective. That's why I created the 7-day challenge and the growth cycle blueprint to begin with. But I do understand that everybody isn't at a place where they can afford it, or where you're in a place where you're trusted, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you have already like mastered your hair, but you really just want to like track your self-care, because it's about more than just hair. Remember, in your gut you grow hair, skin, and nails, so it's about all of those things. Readjusting your diet and aligning everything holistically, right? So as a holistic practitioner, this is something that is so important to me. This is something that I collectively put together for you, so I can like really help you, right, through everything that I've learned as a cosmetologist, a research scientist, a trichologist, all of the things. I made this as simplistic as possible so you can begin to reset your hair growth cycle and your hair growth patterns and make it your full 7-day pattern. When I say 7 days, I'm not saying, oh, your life's gonna be different in 7 days, even though it will be. I have the reviews to prove it, but I'm telling you that with this journal, through the month, through the year, your 7-day pattern every day, through each month, through each year, is gonna be perfection. There's a space for you to organize all of the tools and all of the products, so there are no surprises. There's no jump up hair products that you're using. And the thing is, if on a 7-day basis, right, you're always taking a little bit of time just to check in with yourself with this journal, what's gonna happen is anytime there's an issue, anytime you try a new product or whatever, it'll be easy. All you'll do is say, hey, everything was the same except this day. That's the product that did it. That's the tool that did it. Instead of you guessing and trying all of these different products, you'll have your scalp's profile, everything right here in this book. This is so much more than a journal. And I love you guys, but I'm not promising you hair growth recipes and things of that nature. That's not what I do. Even as a holistic practitioner, when I give you herbs, even some of the extracts and some of the new scalp scrubs, I'm bringing you I'm bringing you 2 new scalp treatments. One is going to be to help you reset your skin cell turnover cycle, and the other one is going to be able to kill an overgrowth of yeast and parasites on your scalp. I'm giving you 2, right? But before I can do those things, we have to break down old things and set new foundations. So I really hope that you go ahead and get your hands on this. You heard her say it yourself. She ordered it one day and then the next day it was at her front door. You know, I love you guys so much, and until my next video, bye. And also, oh my god, I love you so much. I know so many of you have written reviews, have purchased the book, because I can see it, but only 2 of you have written reviews. Oh my god, I love you so much. If you could do me a favor, it helps more than you will ever know. I know people say that all the time, but like, girl, I say it because I didn't even know how much the reviews matter. Girl, do me a favor, please. If you have this ebook, why do I keep saying ebook? If you have this book, if you have this journal, do me a favor and pretty please, with a cherry on top, write a review.